Hello, I'll be walking you through an Escrow Africa demo on how to create escrow. So first thing is you click on escrow and click on new escrow. For this demo, we'll be using normal escrows. Next thing is you need to select if you're a buyer or a seller. For this demo, I'm a buyer and I'm selecting this user as my seller. I need to enter the total escrow amount. You can also decide to split the fee. Next, you select the category from our list of escrow categories available. This is going to be a land purchase. And then you now enter the title. So this is going to be a purchase of a land in PB. You can add a short project description to this. Next, you can upload supporting documents like your intent of purchase. Next, you set your deliverable. So what needs to be delivered for this escrow? So here I have land deed, pictures of land, and then I'm also going to set my expected completion date. Now, under what conditions should payments be released? So I'm going to add land deeds provided. So now you can choose to upload an agreement that the other party needs to confirm or agree to, a legally binding document. So I've added that if your escrow needs milestones, you can add them here. So these milestones can be paid for individually when the seller completes each and every single milestone here. What you need here is the title. You need the start and end dates, when this milestone kicks off and when it ends, the amount for this particular milestone, and then just the end dates. You can add as many milestones as you want to. I'm going to add another one over here called land deeds. So once you're done, you can look at professional services. Professional services is a way for you to find lawyers to review your legal documents, find insurance companies for insurance, request financing, and then essentially expert services for anything like land surveyors and so on. So now you can see the entire summary of the escrow we just created. And from here, we can now proceed to submit and create the escrow. Great, the escrow has been created successfully. Once the escrow has been created, you are brought to the escrow detail page where you can chat with the other party and see all details of the escrow, including a history of the escrow. So I'm going to send a little hello over here to the seller. Now we can switch to the seller screen. On the seller's escrows page, the seller is going to be able to see the escrow, click on the escrow, and then decide to accept the escrow or not. Once accepted, the seller must now agree to the agreement that was uploaded by the buyer. Once the seller agrees to the agreement, the escrow can start. Now, under the escrow, this particular escrow, there are some milestones that the seller needs to deliver on. All the seller needs to do is to add some proof of completion of the milestone and then submit. I'm going to add a little message. And now I can submit. So after submission, we can now switch to the buyer screen. Now the buyer can see the milestone and decide to accept the milestone. Once the buyer accepts the milestone, money will be sent or payments will be made for this particular milestone. The buyer sends an OTP they need to verify for the money to be released. That's it. First milestone completed. First payment done. Now back to the seller screen. Once the first milestone has been completed, the seller can start working on the second milestone by uploading proof of completion of the milestone. Once done, the seller updates and the buyer receives the next milestone. So back to the buyer screen, we can now see the second milestone and accept the second milestone. Once again, we get our OTP. Once you enter our OTP, we can now verify the milestone has been completed. There were two milestones under this transaction. So after the second milestone is completed, we can confidently say the entire escrow has been completed. So that's it. That is a simple escrow on Escrow Africa. Thank you very much.